So next is Airbnb. It was last week when coin didn't turn out very well and we had to break even. And I said, hey, I'm going really heavy on Airbnb. I'll I said, what else did I say? I said it was the same as Intel and it was just the inverse of it, which means it was the opposite. Because I remember last time we had Intel puts, it was about like 300%. So we'll go back to our regular basics. We'll always start with the 4 hour course. Uh, this blue line indicated the day when we got into the call. So we'll backtrack right here. So we backtracked right here. We had I believe a 4 hour. Yeah, right here was a 4 hour resistance right there at the time. And that blue line was pretty much the indication if anything happens, then it'll give me a signal. So as time passed, it had a nice pop up. And then that's right away, I realized that it broke the 2 hour resistance. So at that point, when it broke the 2 hour resistance right here, I went back to check the hour. And after checking out the hour, after it broke the 2 hour resistance, I I think on Thursdays I was expecting day trade, so I started with the hour first. Then when I saw the hour had that huge triangle wedge right here, which was pretty big, and it broke the 2 hour, I wanted to get into it right away. And we were able to sell it right away in the morning. It was really short. So right when something breaks that 2 hour resistance, this is when the 2 hour resistance really matters. And we'll find the 1 hour resistance, which was back here. That was the 1 hour resistance. So for calls, we always want the candles to break the 1 hour first. Then after the 1 hour, we want it to break the 2 hour. And what made me want to go into it really quickly was it broke the 2 hour and it had this gap. So I'll rewind it a bit when we first started. So right here, it didn't break that 2 hour, waited, then right when that pop up in the morning, I waited for it to dip back down to try to get as close as to this 2 hour because like I said, it always retests the 2 hour. So I was seeing if it does. I believe we sold it too. Then after it got close and it had that little bit of downfall towards the end of the day, I said to rebuy it back in as much as possible because I wanted to see if it tests this 4 hour. Because if it had this gap fill and everyone just probably sold off in that gap fill, and that's when I said 130 is ideally the day trade because of that gap fill. So then if you guys held it on swing trade, it shot all the way up to the top of this wedge. So anytime we'll go down the list of stuff for like day trades or swing trades, we can just go into the hour and find these giant wedges that has, and we'll just go down the list. And a lot of times the wedges don't look good. Sometimes they look really small. We want the bigger the better. Then once we find those wedges, then we'll go into the 2 hour and we'll see if it breaks the 2 hour barrier, the 2 hour barrier pretty much. That was the 2 hour resistance right there. We'll make it purple and we'll go back into the 1 hour. So as of right now, today is the 4th. So ideally, Walmart's supposed to go up like another $1.50 because it always touches the top of the wedge. But this one's a smaller wedge though. But yeah, so that's why Airbnb ended up working out. I broke the 1 hour resistance, broke the 2 hour resistance, and just tested the 4 hour resistance. So, and plus it was in that wedge. That was like the biggest thing.